What is your worst addiction? Tomica decasts. Started collecting them here and there 20 years ago. Under COVID, I partook in some retail therapy and started ordering more online. Then I found a Japanese hobby shop whose online store had incredibly deep stock, reasonable prices and SH charges that could be justified if ordering in bulk. I also dabbled in proxy buying from Mercari JP and Yahoo Auctions JP. I've slowed down now due to now owning almost every Tomica I've ever wanted, and my collection is sitting in 12 stack tubs. No ability nor adequate space to properly admire and or display them. NMN. I spend all the time every day on the laptop. But I don't see this as a problem. I have tried Gonya did not understood though. Need to repeat Sunday, alcohol, smoking. It's easy not to drink for me. Easy not to smoke. As many people said here, it's energy drinks. You start drinking it again and you buy one every day or once in a few days. Wouldn't be a problem to drink one on weekends. But I think I get acne from it, so I can't. Alcohol. I used to hate its taste and found the high boring by itself, but the older and more stressed out I get, the more and more I look forward to that release at the end of the day. But the stuff is literally poison and one of the hardest drugs on your body. Like, I've done most of the well-known rec drugs, and many you've probably never heard of, and nothing makes me feel shittier the next day than a hangover. Unhealthy food. I've lost 15 kilograms in the last year, exercise every day and nearly have the body I have always dreamed of. But damn, it's still hard to not give in and fall back into my old eating habits. It requires so much willpower. The exercising isn't difficult to keep up with, but saying no to unhealthy foods just isn't getting any easier. I do allow myself some unhealthiness from time to time though. It would probably be drugs or alcohol, but I don't do them unless they are prescribed, so I'm not sure. Also, it's weird to define addiction. Define an addiction as pretty much any activity that you are compelled to do to the point that you can't go to work or provide a living for yourself, but colloquially people use the word differently. How are you using it? Coke? I love it. I would drink nothing else if I could. My addiction is worse than coffee or cigarettes for some people, assuming cause I don't drink coffee or smoke. It's my only bad eating or drinking habit and I adore it. 7 cans a day gets expensive, so I stopped buying the case and forcing myself to walk to the 7-Eleven and get a big gulp. Now I'm technically down to 1 a day. Caffeine. I have cut my sugar addiction and have been fine. The minute I touch caffeine, it's a wrap. I'm not even a Monster Energy or Rockstar type of caffeine addict, as I think energy drinks can be dangerous to your health. I'm the tea, juice, or the occasional soda type. It's kind of worrisome how much my mental state was affected whenever I've tried cutting it. Used to smoke buprenorphine, an opioid used to treat opioid addiction. Got clean at 16, so 20 years ago. I tend to think I was never addicted, and that I definitely have no issues with it anymore. But once in a while I get the urge to smoke that is so strong that I have to distract myself for a day or two until the feeling goes away. Addiction is crazy. For me it used to be porn. I haven't sorted out in over a year now, but it really hurt my marriage. My wife was very supportive the whole time, but I could tell how much it hurt her. Our sex life was next to nothing for the first few years because of it. It's a hard addiction to fight to because of how accessible it is. Social media or sugar. Rye hard when I'd love to buy a quart of ice cream, a package of Oreos, or some other sugary snacks, but I can't because I know I'll eat an entire package in one sitting, because I have no self-control. Growing cannabis. I regularly go without smoking it, but I don't know what I'd do if I didn't grow. One love growing all plants, and I do it consistently throughout the year. I had to stop growing cannabis for a while before and during a move, and there was a definite emptiness there. It felt wrong. Reddit is terrible. Keep me awake at night. Several hours a day. Alcohol. Being a boozer for half my life, and it is crippling. I have been able one time to be sober for 5 months. I was a beast. Should have been medicated. Weed. Lungs and pocket always hurting. By the way, my life is shit. Nicotine. Heavy smoker from 97 till about 18 months ago. Started vaping but still smoke cigarettes too. As of last October I only vape. No more Camels. Come to think of it, I might just be addicted to the act of inhaling any kind of smoke. Cannabis user since 97 too. Porn for sure. Started PC of a guy I dated who was very addicted to it. It became a huge part of our relationship and sex life. Since then I've never been able to go more than a few weeks at most without watching it and have now become a content creator myself. Sex addiction, few years sober and still going. But I would not wish this addiction on anyone, up to and including the worst people on earth or mortal enemies. It was hellish clawing out and it still feels like my brain is on fire half the time. But hey, sober. I'm a sucker for cats, especially kittens. I'm responsible enough to limit myself to 3. It takes discipline. But cats aren't as dangerous as opioids and benzodiazepines. My youngest cat is named Benzo, because he replaced the benzos I needed during COVID-19. Social media and the internet in general. I often find myself stuck in a rabbit hole of Google searches because I saw one video. I look something up relating to that video, look something else up related to the previous search, and it just keeps going. It's becoming solitude. Ever since I got out of retail during the pandemic, 17 years of retail with my tolerance for people has reduced significantly. Being alone in the woods is such a liberating and freeing feeling, and I just can't get enough of it. Sugar. I'm really trying to figure out a way to break with it. I've quit alcohol, smoking, drugs, but for some reason I'm grappling with sugar. Chocolate especially. I can't break this addiction and be free of the cravings, etc. I hate it. Weed. Nobody knows it or would ever expect it from someone like me. But I cannot sleep. I cannot eat or function without anxiety, without hitting the pen. It is affecting my relationship, and I think more people struggle with this than we think. Working out. I only go for 5 days a week now for an hour to an hour and a half. I got addicted and was going 6 days a week, 3 hours a day, because I wanted to be in the gym. Ended up tearing my shoulder because I didn't give my body adequate rest. Screaming music. Caffeine, Reddit, sparkling drinks, especially Coke. Beating my... Yeah, I'm trying to completely break down every single one of these. Except screaming music is always gonna be there no matter how hard I try. Masturbating, but get the 2 usual ones out of the way. Facebook 2 weeks clean, lol. Oxys 4 months clean, proud of myself for that. Also been addicted to being a jackass since birth apparently. It ruins family holidays. If I really had to choose, I'd say my worst addiction is the thrill of being naughty in public places. Something about the fear of getting caught while I'm doing something naughty makes it so much more exciting and enjoyable. Biting my nails. I have done it since I was a child, like a young child, and it gets painful, and it's fucked my teeth and I don't even notice I do it. I'm beginning to think it's more of a compulsion, anything TBH. Alcohol. Eating myself. Because I don't drink during the week and I am not relying on it. But when I'm honest with myself, I can recognize that since I can't go a full weekend without getting drunk, it's a problem. I have a stupid obsession with spending money even if it's just a few bucks. I think I do it because I've convinced myself it'll bring me some sort of satisfaction when in reality my bank account just leaks slowly. Sleeping. I'm 90 sure I have chronic fatigue syndrome. I've also already been diagnosed with insomnia. A couple days ago I slept for 36 hours, minus half an hour where I woke up to eat and use the bathroom. Binge eating any food I find. The trouble is that no one believes me or tells me to stop because I am actually average weight. When I get extra emotional, I will literally eat the whole cupboard in a day. Food. I love to eat bread, cheese and PB. Especially. I'm also a bit of an exercise freak, so lots of running and lifting. Sometimes shamefully after I eat a lot of bread, cheese and PB. Buying Starbucks. I hate that I buy it constantly. I make coffee at home and think it's gross. I have an espresso machine and decently like it, but it's still not the same. Cutting myself. Almost 7 months clean. I'm really proud. Just last year, I couldn't go a few hours without a decent amount of blood. Now I barely ever get the urge. Procrastination in general. I will do just about anything to avoid tasks that would make me feel so much better to just have done. Work from home is a killer that way. Honestly, nicotine. Disposable vapes have made it so hard to quit. With cigarettes, after not smoking for 2 weeks, they start to taste nasty. But vapes always taste good. Weed. And it's not even a physical addiction, just habitual and psychological. Haven't been sober for 20 years. It's not a brag, it's pure self-disappointment. Coffee. I'm lucky, and it's nothing harder than that. But it's still out of control. I drink way too much coffee, and I'm permanently dehydrated because of it. Porn. It's basically my crutch for everything. Bored, look at porn. Happy, look at porn. Sad, look at porn. Anxious, look at porn. Need a reward, look at porn. Honestly, drinking water, I just love the taste of it and the feeling of detoxing my body. So sometimes I may drink too much and become lightheaded. Sugar, candy, sodas, sweets, pasta, carbs. It's the only reason why I'm fat. Whenever I eliminate carbs from my diet, I lose weight 20 pounds a month. Movies by the Coen brothers, David Lynch, and Wes Anderson. Bad food and badder sex. Honorable mention shout out goes to Cocaine the Real Cola, YouTube, and other entertaining websites like Imgur. It gives nothing and takes too much of your the most valuable and irreplaceable resource, time. Watching Russian soldiers getting limbs blown off from drones dropping grenades on them. It was a tough wonk, but I get through it like a champ.